Let's give people a path to citizenship. We do not have a system to do that. If we can afford $200 billion for customs, then we have the money to actually create a system that will process people, vet them for being criminals, but allow them to come here, work, and become citizens. Here is Fox embedding with ICE agents in Central Florida.
Hi, Dana Marie. Good morning.
Hi, Dana. Good morning. Construction is booming in Florida, especially in and around the area of the Villages, as you mentioned, the world's largest growing retirement community. So we joined ICE as they went to this housing development unannounced after they opened an investigation.
We're talking to everybody out here. Are you a citizen of the U.S.?
Agents moved from house to house approaching workers. ICE describes the interaction as a consensual and optional conversation since they didn't have a warrant. Agents question their legal status and those who couldn't provide
Pause it for a second. Pause it for a second. Oh, hello, masked guy wearing a military vest, carrying several firearms. I'm so glad this is a consensual conversation that we're going to have. This is wonderful.
These goons.
Oh, let me introduce you to my children. This is such a wonderful...
a disgrace.
All of the consensual conversations I have are with masked men with weapons in military fatigues.
Sticking his gloves on. God.
ICE describes the interaction as a consensual and optional conversation since they didn't have a warrant. Agents question their legal status and those who couldn't provide valid immigration documentation were fingerprinted on site, part of a process.
Pause it for a second. Oh, since this is so consensual, let me take your biometric information while we're here.
Give it to Peter Thiel.
I mean... the idea that we're like 10 years away from like Jade Helm, where conservatives were so convinced that the Obama administration was going to send in the military to take over Texas, as if like Texas is not part of the United States anyways, but they're okay with going around and fingerprinting people who don't have their papers on them. I wonder if these guys had consensual conversations with people who were, I don't know, white.
Yeah, I, for one, got to say that I'm shocked that the Trump administration doesn't have a very good grasp about consent.
Exactly.
Legal status and those who couldn't provide valid immigration documentation were fingerprinted on site, part of a process to verify identities through a national immigration database. ICE says they opened an investigation after concerns from community members.
We've received a lot of tip line reporting on the, hiring practices of a lot of companies in the area, and so that's what we're doing today. We're obtaining a lot of license plates, company names, to be able to follow up on a lot of investigations are going to launch as a result of today's actions.
Scumbags.
This marks the first worksite enforcement operation of its kind in the state of Florida. Officials made it clear it will not be the last. Most workers did comply with officers' requests, but over 30 ran away. According to HSI Tampa, agents talked to 361 construction workers yesterday, but arrested 33. 4 of them have a felony for coming back to the U.S. after being deported. And Dana, the operation, it didn't end there. Agents also visited local businesses to let them know that inspections are on the way.
You know what I want to see? Let's get everybody in the Villages to take a vow that if you hear anything about some of your neighbors cheating on their taxes, which incidentally is an actual felony, that you will turn them in. If you have suspicions, can we turn them in? What about since being in this country without documentation is akin to a traffic ticket. How about we turn in our neighbors who we think might be speeding?
I wonder how many people don't live there most of the year but keep it as their primary residency for income tax.
Oh,
That
6
would
months
be
in a
interesting.
day.
I think people should start to keep records of how long their neighbors are in town. God, what scumbags. Every single person in that video, the network that embeds with them, those scumbag ICE agents, and those scumbags who called in.
The neighbors, like literally
The community.
racist grandmas and grandpas staring outside their window in the villages, in the retirement community to see if anyone brown walks by.
It's 400,000 former managers. You know, people who were bosses. who have nobody to boss around.
Some of them had pool cleaning companies.
So they're going around their golf carts looking for things to manage.
Yep.
It's no surprise. I mean, I'm looking at Micah McComb's LinkedIn here. Homeland Security investigations, 10 years, 9 months. It's no surprise that this boondoggle, these national security boondoggle agencies have just turned into fascist Gestapos, just like everybody on the left said they would, and that there actually wasn't any real reason to make new law enforcement agencies staffed up with these kind of pigs to keep us safe from bin Laden. Like, what a fucking joke.
Also, I mean, we should note that, like, as we're building concentration camps in that state, part of what is, like, dehumanizing prior to some of the worst crimes and genocides is, like, the inability for ethnic minority groups or the groups being targeted to make money and to, like, have businesses in that country. And they're also, when they're targeting Latino people at their places of work, they're making it impossible for them to go to work without fear, which is a part of otherizing people and taking them out of, like, the traditional economy in a way that makes it easier to do even more horrible things to them.
Hey, for weeks, all we've heard is how Trump's big, beautiful bill will cut Medicaid. But almost no one's reporting on a buried provision that would make Trump untouchable. Go to ground.news/majority to see how this bill would block judges from enforcing court orders unless you, the citizen, post a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most people can't actually afford to do this, and that's pretty obvious. So if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't even matter, and nobody even knows, which means the GOP's flood the zone strategy is working, and it's why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the news the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first article they see online as fact, their browser extension is essential. What it does is it flags the source's bias and links other credible reports to verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got you 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's just $5 a month when you go to ground.news/majority, scan my QR code, or redeem the code majority if you're using the app. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.